Okay, this is just gonna be the tour of Norf Malders. How do you wanna? Oh God, how do you wanna go about this? Where do you wanna start to talk about your town?
I might want to start chronologically. So when I first settled here, this was a pretty open and waving plain, um, and there were a lot of wolves around here. So I picked a place that was elevated so that I could, you know, theoretically break line of sight with whatever I'm fighting long enough to drop aggro, and made this little cottage here on the hill. And I actually didn't expect anyone to come settle out here with me. But once we started getting a lot of players from the thread, I figured it would be a good idea to give people who wanted to come up this far north, which was a distance before the translocator network. Um, so I built an inn, and that was pretty much where the town really started to take shape. So this, I don't know if you're nearby.
Oh, do you wanna go to the end and just like look
Yeah,
around some of the stuff? All right.
yeah, I thought you were following me. Sorry.
Oh,
So
what? Wait, your
yeah,
character is frozen. It's one of those old ghost things.
God damn it. All right, here I'll reconnect.
No, no, no. I mean, you're still there. Okay, I don't know. The
Yeah,
ghost things are always weird. I'm just gonna look at the end though.
yeah. So the inn just started out as probably the first building that actually like solidified the building standard that we set up for the town, which was plaster, conglomerate cobblestone, and maple logs, and then thatch roofs. And it turned out pretty well. A lot of the buildings in the town use this. We had four rooms in the first floor that anybody could settle in. And then up top, we had a cozy little tavern, which was kind of like the public kitchen and eating area. We kept a lot of food in the vessels early on, and this is how a lot of players got their start up north.
I think actually I used the tavern on my expedition north, which I also have a video of. It's not really a public video or anything. Oh, my sign's
You,
like the only thing on the public thing
yeah,
of
I made
when
sure
it
to keep
was.
that there.
Oh, that was back in March. So how long ago was that? Oh, that
It's
was
been a
only
while.
2 months ago. That was March 30th.
Yeah. So from there, CSAM was actually one of the first people to join the town. If you want to come up to his place up the mountain. So he asked me like, hey, is it okay if I build nearby and like do something slightly different? And yeah, I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't realize slightly different meant like actually just fucking beautiful. It's probably one of the best builds in the town by a fucking
Oh
mile.
no, it's one of the best builds in the server. Honestly, the only thing I ever really like thought about changing with CSAM's build is that I would have made the stone go down on the side here, just like this.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. Like the reality is though, like what he does best is chisel work, and like if you want to come inside the house real quick and
Oh
show
yeah,
people
no, I'm
that.
definitely gonna look at that. Actually, I'm gonna add time, and then I'm gonna go up the walkway.
Yeah. So like first off, coming up his road is like it's actually kind of fun.
Oh, the
He's
bridge.
Yeah, he's got probably the most like aesthetic little trail to his house. And it's just a cottage on top of the mountain. It was really cool when he first started clearing terrain for it.
No girls allowed. That's pretty based. Yeah. Oh my god, I love the spices. Like he was really clever with his chisel work.
Yeah, the spice rack was really cool. Like
Is that steel?
that's iron. That's iron plate. You stole his helmet, or
Oh
you're
wait,
wearing a
is it
helmet.
on me?
Yeah, it's on you now. You didn't. It didn't look like you actually took it, but like that's interesting. All right. But
I think
yeah, so then if you go upstairs or up the ladder
I
to the
don't
second
think that
floor,
actually he made the knife. I don't know if he made the knife set. I think Gravy might have made that because I did see some knife
Gravy
sets
made the
Gravy
knife
was
set,
selling.
yeah, because I have one of those too in the government building.
Oh, this food looks good too. Wow, he's so good at the like little tiny chisel work, and I also loved his little gamer station.
Yeah, the gamer station with the fucking used tissue
Well,
can on the side.
it's a lot like, oh, he even has the outlet. Oh my god. It's a lot like his not his. I think I don't know if he got inspiration from it this way, but I think Chef actually made the first gamer station. I don't know if he just did this on his own or if he was inspired.
It's really cool though, either way. But yeah, so this that's his place, and he's got some, the usual accoutrement of furnace. Actually, if you want to see something really cool, come down here. He has a little vault.
Oh, wait, I'm in
Over,
his basement. Hang on. This
yeah,
is also based. Collected armor. This is really cool. There's no chisel work down here. Okay, sorry for interrupting. I'll come up.
yeah, you're good. This game kind of blows us away as far as like actual um, like. But the thing that I love about his place is that he's
Holy
got all his
shit!
well stacked
That
up here.
that was in fucking survive. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, puts us all to shame,
Is
man.
that? Oh, I thought that was. I was gonna say if that was fucking gold.
He actually had gold stacked up that high. He used it to make. He has a set of gold plate. He has
Like,
a set of gold and silver plate.
even running the what was it? Running like this is about as much copper as I ever made from the shops. How I don't even know how. Did he get that from the town or was this all mined by him?
This is all mined by him. Like he did a lot of mining. It got to the
And he
point
had
where
the
I
time
had.
to do this.
Yeah, it got to the point where I had to go through the translocator network just to find new places to mine because he
Ooh.
dug out all the deposits around the town.
He was telling me that he wanted a ruin of this mermaid. There's a like I don't know if this was inspired by VIH. I don't know if he's ever actually seen Viz.
I want a ruin of this mermaid. Like this mermaid is really fucking great, and the little pond area that he has set up here would be really great to see in the new server.
The belly button. Oh my god. He is a good builder. He also had what the only working windmill in Norf for the longest time.
I wouldn't say the only working windmill, but it's definitely one of the best looking.
I'm gonna look at his. I'm gonna look at some more of his stuff. The skep's really nice. Kind of ruined by the windmill view. He had a farm. Were there ever any animals in here? Or did they escape?
I don't think he ever actually put any animals in there, but he definitely could have.
I mean, maybe with the next
Most of the
update.
problem was getting. You know what he actually had a lot of, and this is a fun story. So during the wintertime up here, Arctic foxes spawn a lot. And
Oh, it was
there have been
the
a couple years, like when the town was really active, when his chunks stayed loaded, where there would just be like 10 or 15 Arctic foxes running around in his basement. They
Oh
would
yeah, I
spawn
saw stuff.
inside his.
Wait. There's also the
What the fuck is
pentagram.
this?
I mean, there's stuff like this in pretty much every town. Actually, I can do a little
Oh my god,
quick.
it's behind the waterfall. I never noticed that. That's so
I
fun.
think that was in the thread as well.
It was in the thread. I had no idea this was in the town. That's so cool.
What else was there? Actually, if you come over here, I'm gonna show Greg's, which was a store. Oh my god, I can't press F1 while holding V, but what was it with Greg's? So Greg's was sort of me just expanding my shop as I got more workers and shit. Eventually, I got delivery guys.
Yep.
I think right here
Delivery guys, one of which who was banned from the town, and we had to hold a trial.
oh, I guess Cat Pottery stole some of the iron that I got paid. I kind of abandoned Greg's towards the end. Um,
I
what was
actually
it?
have that
Oh,
iron in
well,
the bank for you.
the hopper was inspired by your bank hopper, and if you actually
Yeah.
go underground, well, I'll show you over here. Watch this. This is kind of tricky. Oh shit, I guess never mind. He was retarded. There used to be logs here, so you could I chiseled it so you could stack logs on it.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, you got this
Yeah.
whole fucking.
So this was
That's
going to
that's so
be
fucking cool.
part of the cult of Chef. Never got done, but it's because Christmas celebrations are related. I'm not going to reveal too much just to keep the mystery, but Christmas celebrations were related to the cult of Chef and how people were initiated.
Yeah,
There's
I
usually
remember
like
reading that in the thread.
Yeah, there was an initiation ceremony. This beer thing on your little tavern inn was also something I was going to do with the Boar's Head Tavern, and there was one, but it wasn't great. Your guy is still up there.
Again,
Oh no, it's been up there. It hasn't left.
I've been moving around with you this whole time.
All right, I'll let you show me more of the town, though.
Right. So pretty much as soon as I started getting like more than a couple people, like Chalice and Alshane are down here by the market, and as soon as pretty much as soon as they moved in, decided that I would need some kind of like a government building, B like kind of like a code of conduct rules type thing. I've always been kind of inspired by Civcraft and the like, because I think like especially when you've got groups like this and in a game like this where cooperation organization is actually kind of important. Building a government building and like a code of laws would actually be really cool. So
Wait,
um,
sorry to interrupt really quick. Was this inspired by the Spawn Town laws, or was this just your own vision from the start?
this is just my own vision from the start. So if you want to come into the rules room, I can actually show you where I started, and it was actually pretty simple. I just started with the citizens' rights and responsibilities, and derived a lot of this from my actually my own personal political philosophy. And then just as we went, if like there were things that I needed to make rules for, like started with like what who can act like what does it take to actually become a citizen, and then when Boy Meeting was talking about selling some land, and actually when I think I sold you the land for Greg's, we wanted to make some laws about selling that. And then I actually codified the building standard. And then we had, back when there was some potential for having some conflict, I drafted up some laws for how the military would work and how the conquering of lands would benefit the citizenry, so that people
Hang
would
on.
be actually incentivized to.
Was the war thing made after the what's it called? The assassination attempt?
It was actually.
Yeah, so for some background on that, what was it? So that was your first Norfair, which was Norfair had to have been inspired by the Christmas celebration, I think. But
Warfare is literally just an excuse to get people to come up here and like trade and sell things.
oh,
Like
also make the Iron Standard.
yeah, and it was like to expand the iron standard, and because there were a handful of things that we just didn't have on hand, like the one that like up until very recently we didn't have a reliable source for was bauxite, which was kind of keeping us out of the Steel Age. Um, so we held Norfair, and it was kind of a cool way to like come bring people up here. It was actually the christening of this building too.
Do you want to
Um,
talk about the history of what went on in this room?
yeah, so I was getting to that. The At the end of Norfair, I was cleaning up, and who was it? It was Dane and TC showed up out of nowhere. It was Badmain too. Anyways, they showed up out of nowhere, and like Dane and TC had been writing BLM all over the signage and stuff like that all over the town. And then there was an assassination attempt on me. I was cleaning up. I was like, I think I was redoing the pond or something. I didn't have my armor on, and I got jumped by somebody with a bunch of spears. I got so lucky um, that I didn't get dropped immediately. And as soon as I was getting low, combat logged because there's no plugins to prevent that, and I was content to just be cheeky. Waited a few minutes. Chalice had actually got on around the same time and was um, kind of scaring off the assailant, and survived. I managed to get my armor on, kill them, and that was that. But at the end of afterwards, Toy Cadet wanted to still be allowed to come here, so we held a trial that actually in this room, this courtroom, that Carrot presided over, and I argued on behalf of the state as to why this person should stay banned from the town, and TC put up a rigorous defense, and we commuted the sentence.
I
And
oh sorry.
yeah, good.
Oh no, I was just going to say that actually I kind of forgot, but to touch on sort of the history of that bit. So, I mean, most people know about the Market District, and what was going on at the time was there was a lot of meme warfare between North and South with the Norf FC 4chan type North FC. I can't do an accent, but Nor
Alpine North.
the North FC South meme, and there was like the Chad South versus Virgin North and vice versa, and eventually that led to the hit board being created. Also, I think that came about from cat pottery being a nuisance and a few other players raiding villages and stuff. So basically, a hit board was made, and someone put a hit out on you. And what I heard through the grapevine was that the reason for the hit was someone wanted to escalate the South North relationship to war.
Yeah, I would have been fine with that. It was mostly just popular support, and the town wasn't really there, so we kind of just let it ride. Especially after we managed to defend a hit. I honestly like if there had been some kind of follow up to that, I think it would have escalated, but there wasn't, and that was kind of a problem. But yeah, if you want to come to the second floor real quick.
Oh,
Um,
oh my God, yeah, the second floor.
one of the things that didn't really get taken much advantage of, unfortunately, was like we had like a whole court set up in here, which was
Oh,
supposed
I
to be
never saw this. Wow.
like the town hall. Yeah, put this together. V made the eagle statue. C-Sam made the chair. Um, yeah, this was supposed to be just like a town hall meeting kind of thing.
I
And
can't
then we
believe
had a
V got
couple.
up here.
We have a couple of offices. This is Crongy's. He was supposed to be the prince of the south.
This
This
server
is
loves boobs. Loves.
yeah. Well, this is the Norf's way of kind of like throwing. This is back like he made this room back when there was no clear leader of the South, like when they still were pretty disorganized. So we were trying to back him as our pick.
Oh, I should have
But
gotten something here. But wait,
yeah, you should
so
have.
what was it with Crongy? Crongy wasn't king of the South. He was. I think I'll touch on this in the
He
South
called it.
later.
He called himself Prince of the South.
I think he was the one working on some large temple that he wanted to use to Mog North. I have to say, North is really organized. South is disorganized. Not as disorganized as the Spawn Town region, but like I don't know. South has its own charm. North has its own charm. North feels like the most proper town village that ever really existed in the server.
Yeah.
Huh?
So next big building is the Hermes Initiative Outpost out here. This was when Carrot was pretty much in full swing, and he was really looking to build more of a translocator network up here. Um, it took some time. Boy Meeting would actually end up finding the TL that would connect the network the most cleanly, but yeah, this was his building, and fortunately, he didn't really finish filling it out until he had his little episode.
The chairs are nice. Was that the episode where he left all the groups he was in or something? And
Yeah,
like people
yeah.
were, I know the in crafters were sort of memeing on him.
Oh yeah. I
South
felt kind of
Impulse, this
bad
is
about it
nice.
because like the why this happened was pretty much centered around Dane getting a hold of OP through one of Toy Cadet's alt accounts and dirtying up the courtroom, and then in the process accidentally breaking some of the chisel art. And
Oh,
that didn't get fixed until very recently.
down.
Um,
Oh, sorry. Ah,
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that down here, shitty blocks, somewhat respectable blocks you finna make you say noise. This is how I organize my phone into apps. I have useless, sort of useful, and useful.
Yeah, that's kind of been Carrot's thing of like having just really random names for his chests. If you go upstairs, I think they're all still up there. There was a bunch of them. Yeah, I
I do like this building. Like it's very condensed. Scat, not scat porn. Just
yeah, that's how he does all of his chests. And if you go along the Translocator network, there's some of those too, especially heading south.
some of this is weird. Some of this kind of looks like it's ruins already.
Yeah, he didn't really finish this building. Again, like kind of had his episode by the time he finished it up.
Wait, was this supposed to be a mega farm?
This is an arena.
Did it ever used? Was this the Fight Club?
Yeah, this was the fight club we used for the third North Fair.
Oh, tell me all about that. Since I was not here for the third North Fair, I think I only attended the second.
Yeah, so third North Fair, we kind of decided that we were going to up the ante as far as gladiatorial games go, or just games in general. So the first, we had a fashion show and a fight club here. and it was actually pretty cool to have people like actually like sitting up in the rafters here, and then have the contestants coming through the ground floor. So if you want to come in here, I'll show you.
Did
So we
anyone
basically
die?
have, huh?
Did
Oh
anyone
yeah,
die? Oh,
yeah. We had people die. We had people do a like. So the way it worked was you put on the armor over here. You took a spear, and it's the same. The opponent did that the same thing on the other side, and then you went out your respective little areas, and they put you on either side of the arena, and you fought, and it was pretty cool. It worked out really well.
wait, was it
The,
was it full? So I'm sorry for interrupting again. I'm autistic,
yeah, yeah, you're good.
but what was it? So was it full leather armor for them, or just the torso, or what?
Just the torso and head. The idea was to keep it like not something where it just like unarmored and it was just going to end immediately, but it was like so the way Vintage Story does damage calculation, and there's a 20% chance to hit the head. So I thought that was a pretty cool way of balancing that out. It's like, yeah, you're going to have armor that reduces damage to like your body and legs, but there's a 20% chance that you're always going to hit full damage when you hit that
Okay.
part. So I thought that was pretty cool, and we went with that. So these two buildings here, like this, or this building here at the arena and the garden, were some of the last builds in the North before things
I
pretty much
always wanted
petered
to
out
build a
completely.
garden. I've built a few small gardens, but nothing like. Ah man, like did CSAM work on this? Because this is some
No,
nice
that was
chiseled.
me.
Really, that's cool. I like these patterns. What else is there? Some old a lot of exotic plants. Were these shipped in from the south? Did you get them or?
CSAM actually had a collection of them from his expeditions around the map, and we just put them all down in here. This was kind of supposed to be like the uh, the the gardens of the world. If you notice, we got one of every type of tree, at least one,
S'mores. The
sometimes
s'mores are
two.
nice.
Oh yeah, that was a cool touch. CSAM did a really good job with this little area here.
Yeah, I think. Ah, I don't know if it's CSAM. There's someone. I'll look into it later, but there's someone in the spawn region who has a sort of build like this where he has plants and stuff from all around the world, and then the glacier ice, which you get from mountains or the far north. But okay,
Yeah,
and then
it's pretty cool to see the glacier ice at night because we actually have colored lanterns underneath, and when if you don't have like a normal lantern in your hand, they glow green and red, and it lights up the whole ice. It's actually pretty cool.
how off? Oh, yeah. How often were the greenhouses actually used here? Because I've never
We
really
use them a
seen much
lot.
grown in
We
them.
use them a lot. So the main reason to use a greenhouse up north is to start planting and harvesting immediately after the first snow melt. Because as soon as the temperature starts to hit about 0 degrees Celsius consistently and doesn't dip too far below, you can actually plant inside the greenhouses reliably just about any crop of game. Because that +5 degree temperature protection makes a huge difference.
Up here just to look at some of CSAM's shrines that he did for like fertility or some meme stuff, which were always really cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, do you wanna talk about your little Stargate project?
Yeah, so a little bit of history here. I'm a fucking Stargate nerd, and I've always been fascinated with the idea of the ancients' language being basically just chiseled into rock. And I think when I had just joined the server, or like when this town just started to take off, I had actually downloaded the font. There's a font for this, and I used it as my reference while chiseling all this. So this is actually a written history of the server or of the town first start, and I call this Legacy of the Ancients.
Oh my
And
god.
basically, this is where the names on here are mine, CSAM's, Chalice, Alshane, and a guy named Sippy who didn't ever stick around, unfortunately. But yeah, it's basically the first block, the first layer of blocks there is like a history of how we got started here, and then the section that wraps around is the list of names. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, I love that lawn chair.
Yeah,
Um,
got better
let's
version of it.
let's try and finish some of the other buildings in this area. Like one thing I never really understood. Honestly, like what even is some of this stuff? So these are just is this used for cooking and making charcoal?
This was for lime. So Chalice was actually, if you look in the town, Chalice supplied most of the lime, that the plaster that you see in the buildings around here. Like I would say upwards of 60 to 80%, somewhere in there.
Where did you
Like,
even
oh,
mine it?
okay, I can show you that.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it the whole
We
section of
actually,
the mountain?
yeah, like this mountain actually has a super huge layer of yeah, that cut through the mountain was started as when I just first got here. I mined a little, and then it just kept going and going and going. It's pretty fun.
A lot
But
of
yeah,
chalk. That's nice.
yeah. So there, it's about a 3 to 5 layer uh, like subsegment of the terrain here, I guess you would call it. If you come over here, if you come over around the side of the mountain, uh, basically the corner here, uh, like this is a whole chalk.
Did
Just
you guys use that much chalk?
Oh yeah, we used that much chalk. We used we exported a lot of it too, but we used lime in a bunch of places. Like it was pretty critical that it's a component of making granite bricks, and so there was a lot of that too.
Ooh,
Um,
love this garden.
yeah,
Where was
but
it exported?
pretty much everywhere. For a long time, the South didn't have a steady supply of lime, so we would just send it south to people.
Was it traded for the bauxite that you needed? Also, this is a
Yeah,
nice bridge.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I made that. It was kind of
Ooh,
fun. I got
what's
tired of
this?
having to go around the pond to get to the trader.
Is this someone's house? I've been in here
That's
before.
Alex.
Like,
That's Alex and like his little like storefront. It's kind of neat.
owl treasure box. I mean, this is nice. What did he actually sell anything here? Like, was it really
Yeah,
used?
he actually sold a lot of like specialty food products. So like honey, cheese was a big thing that he did a lot of. Berry jam and stuff like that. He was really into cooking, and I think he's gonna
Hmm.
come
He'll
back.
love the next update.
Oh yeah, he's gonna love the expanded foods update. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does.
I want to see what I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Tyrion, whatever it is. I want to see what
Yeah.
he does with it. But apparently they're like cutting out some of it. Ugh. I just hope that the mods we're working on will move over easy. Oh God, a temporal storm.
Do you want to just add time to skip this?
Oh, I'll skip it. Ooh, do you want to talk about the bank here and some of your motivations behind the bank? I know this isn't the first bank in the server, so like, was it, made to compete? I know that you wanted the iron standard. Did you actually think iron was better? Did you want to compete? I'm asking a lot of
Yeah.
questions.
So I talked a little bit about this in the thread. The bank actually became like my de facto storage for metals and that kind of stuff. So um, I recognized pretty early on that like to convince people to come up here, I was going to have to give away a lot of stuff for free, just in terms of um, like and trade for labor. So the iron standard made sense because I discovered pretty quickly. I didn't know when I first settled here, but I discovered pretty quickly that we were on top of an ultra rich magnetite deposit. It was something ridiculous, like 60%, or not 60%, but it was something ridiculous, like like what is it? Like the highest is like 14%. Anyways, it was close to the maximum possible in a chunk. So combined with that and the fact that iron actually takes labor to make, um, I always kind of thought that that was the key difference between um, currencies, like stone, copper, nuggets, especially. Like you can just do almost nothing to get that back, and so there was never really a question of like, is this stuff going to hold value? No, it's not. Iron actually held value because there was fuel and labor involved in actually making it. Even with all the automation processes, like you're only going to get so far. So the iron standard made a lot of sense. And even when I didn't have a whole lot of iron to begin with, like it really helped kickstart the town because not only where was I handing out then a precious metal, but the tools that people invested in earning the iron with were paid
That
back two or
you never
threefold.
gave to people for free.
Yeah, I know I
Well,
actually didn't give it to people for free. So if you look at the job board over here, I actually like listed a bunch of things that people could do to earn iron. It's a little sparse now because we haven't really needed to use it in a while. But yeah, when we first got here, it was things like I was buying plaster for iron. I was buying thatch for iron, charcoal. That's Chalice made a lot of iron and never has mined a rock. It's actually kind of funny. Like he hasn't mined any prospector or mined any ore, or even Smith. He just traded for everything that he needed.
that's very similar to how I started off in the server and got a lot of rock and copper. Uh, I mean, I'll touch way more on the Spawn Town market region earlier and sort of the history behind some of the shops in the server. But how do you think like your banking would have gone differently if it had been around since the start of the server? Since obviously you couldn't have had an iron standard at the start of the server, since I mean
I
at the
think I
start of
would
the
have
server,
converted
rocks are
pretty
the
quickly.
currency.
Like again, it comes down to the fact that there is labor involved in making iron. Um, I think I probably would have just stuck to barter until I got to the iron point. So
Ooh,
this is a granary that uh, fuck, I can't remember what his name is. He used a different name for here. Anyways, one of my friends made in exchange for a bunch of iron. And we set this up as kind of like a public granary for new players to the area. The as like the north started to kind of peter out, I recognized that like we had like a bunch of affected territory that really wasn't being settled. So I tried to recruit people and gave them like 200 grain of a given type, usually rye, um, a set of iron tools and leather backpacks, and said, "Hey, you know, here's a place to settle. Build your house." So we actually got a couple. We actually got quite a few people who took up that offer. This is Boy Meeting's area. He went like full ham industrial and like probably has, I think, the coolest factory on the server. Just because he actually really modeled it off of that kind of like early industrial revolution style factory. But he moved almost all of his like major stuff out of here after he moved down south to make the rice farm.
what's with
So
the change in roof design and like building design in this whole like
that was just
industrial
his
section?
style. I mean, so the building code actually allows for flexibility. It's like if you want to, when he first started building out here, anyways, he was actually pretty far away from the rest of the town. Like the town did not spread out this far, as far as it was. It wasn't like this close to him.
A lot of
So
this
it
is
was still, we just considered it another district. So he set the building standard of like church cobblestone and conglomerate rock walls and that kind of stuff, and that was his, and I was fine with it. I thought it was really cool.
You know what's a nice thing about Norf is it's the only town I'd say, I guess south eventually, but for a long time it was the only town that like had alleyways and corridors, and I feel like if war ever did break out, it would have been very interesting to see. Since I know for combat the meta was sort of like bow and bee spam to wear down someone's armor, and you just constantly kite them and poke them. But
Yeah,
obviously, plate armor would be king in this sort of a setting.
yeah. The whole idea was to have something that was laid out like a town pretty logically, and then
Uh,
from there expand out. This is my house.
wait, this is your house?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Oh,
like just.
I have the most unassuming house in
Why
the
do a
entire
lot of
town.
guys put their long-term storage in the attic? I mean,
So the North is actually kind of interesting. We don't have to build cellars. Food actually stays at like 0.17% or below year round. It never
very.
gets hot enough for spoilage to actually start becoming a problem.
There's a
This
lot of
is
smiths.
this is the public smithy. I built this and ran it, and it was never supposed to be like that efficient to encourage people to actually like do their own thing. And this is the site of the first mine. The iron deposits are all down there too.
So there's the grenade. What was this? So is this like a chunk of meat or up here? Like this was like a
I
supposed to
think
be a part of a
this was
food.
his tool storage. Like it was just a bunch of material.
Oh, this feels like
Well,
a very modern day factory. Also, I really, really like to look at some of the gears just spin like this. Like, come here for a sec.
yeah, I know. Dude had the biggest autism mill like in the fucking server by a mile.
I have to see how fast this goes.
It's going as fast as it normally goes. It may not have a lot of torque right now,
I
but
mean, it's fast, but like you'd expect it to be more than that.
yeah, it's because we're only getting about half strength wind right now. Oh, it's gusting up. It's gusting up. But
Oh,
the yeah, I think he might have actually taken down some of
the
the.
ladder. Oh, the details in Norfolk, right? Did you guys actually use your coke ovens? And what happened to this coke oven?
I think Boya actually used some of his coke ovens. He moved out like his whole steel refractory and everything like that. He moved that down south. So a lot of, like I said, a lot of the some of the key components are missing. But yeah, he definitely used the coke ovens.
Oh man, yeah, some of this stuff looks cool, and I love. I don't know if you guys did this first or if the George Floyd Memorial Sneed factory in Spawn
George
Town.
Floyd Memorial is actually Boy Meeting's old factory. So
Really? I thought Carrot
yeah,
Scholar made that. Wait, oh, well, that'll probably be a thing for like the Spawn Town region, though.
yeah. No, but it's actually kind of funny. The way to get to the translocator network for the North used to actually be the first translocator. You had to go through the factory, and I got tired of that and moved it.
Wow, what is this? Is this a food factory or something? A lot of
Uh,
food storage.
This is just one of this is like basically Boy's basement. So if you want to see something really cool, go down
Oh,
underneath this place.
shit, this charcoal pit. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, wow, you're talking about this really deep layer.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So if you come down the stairs, Boy actually experimented with. I think this is supposed to be like a mop grinder or
That's
something.
a lot of copper. I'm surprised it wasn't
Yeah.
mined.
Yeah. So well, he was wealthy at that point. So if you come to me, I want to show you something. I'm gonna get out of creative real quick.
Is this a mob grinder? Or the other thing? I mean, this is obviously like a weird farm.
This is a basalt generator.
Oh, shit. I didn't. That's actually crazy. I didn't realize you could do that in this game.
Yeah, you can like literally just make basalt stones.
Can you make an obsidian generator? I know. No, you can't.
No,
But this,
this is the equivalent though. But
like,
you can make full basalt rocks doing this. It's pretty
you
cool.
you could you could also just AFK and like make roads out of this whole. Wow, this is something that is very meta, and I've never like someone should make a video on this or something because I did not really think about this
It's
being
an
in the
interesting
game.
little piece of
I
tech.
I don't know. There's not too much like as far as tech goes in this game. That'd be cool for someone to make an instructional
Yeah.
video. Probably not crazy.
But what's cool about this farm is that you can farm down here year round. It's less yield, but the uh, the lava at the mantle in a stable location like this, you can farm year round because the temperature stays within reason. Can't farm well. You can farm during the winter. You can't really farm during summer because the temperature gets too high.
Hmm.
But yeah, this was a little bit of tech that Boy Meeting came up with, and I thought was really cool.
Was there ever a bigger farm?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just remember seeing a bigger farm one time underground here.
I
I
don't
could
know
be
if it was
mistaken.
bigger, but it was we've definitely had some farms. So let's see. We had a lot of public farms, really. I mean, like there wasn't a whole lot of. Um,
Besides bauxite, what'd you guys have to ship in? Because I know for Greg's that food still sold decently well at Greg's. Obviously, other things sold better, and B-nades sold surprisingly well.
I think people just threw around a lot of B-nades that second North Fair. Um, I mean, we didn't really have to import a whole lot, but we did trade pretty heavily. We bought a
Do
lot
you,
of art,
do you
like
want to talk about the
chisel art.
windmill?
Yeah, so Autism Mill. I think this was one of like the first proper autism mills. Um,
Oh, this was because you guys got no wind, and it was just kind of a meme, and everyone kind of shit on you for how your windmills were
yeah,
hardly
I
ever
think I
working.
think Boy Meeting just like one day just went hardcore. Like,
It's snowing.
yeah, it snows up here. Gets cold enough, it'll snow. It's -2 out here. It's August. Yeah, snows in August. It's pretty fun. Winter actually starts super early out here. Like it'll start snowing in September.
Uh, I guess that's pretty much all for like the main North area, isn't it? I guess you
Yeah,
can maybe
that,
talk about like if you want to just talk about like what the first North Fair was like, or just like a quick summary of all the North Fairs. I know that you did already touch on the third North Fair.
so the third North Fair was kind of like our last hurrah, but the second was the first one that the middle guys showed up to, the Midlands guys. So that was probably our biggest, and we had a, I think we
That
probably
was
had
over
like,
like 35 people.
yeah, it was ridiculous. We had probably the entire server population show up in the market square, which was really fun. We had a race going south, and actually, if you want to follow the road south, um, I did all these roads by hand. It was kind of like my autism project. But when a couple of European time zone players, Barn and EE, showed up here, they said, "Oh, we're going to settle up north," and they ended up settling like a couple, like 1,200 blocks south of us at this like swampy lake. And so I built a road to him, and that was the first major road project where I kind of like solidified the style of how I wanted to make all the roads.
Yes, a straight 2 block wide road. I mean, you know
Yeah,
what I have to appreciate about it though is that you actually connected it to the ground because I know there have been in the past in this server, especially at like the dawn of infrastructure, a couple of floating roads from lazy people, and most roads started out only one wide, but wow, this is big.
yeah. So I ran the whole road south here, and this is Saborg.
Do you want to talk about the castle or anything
Yeah,
like the
I'll talk about the
HG80
castle
castle?
after this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Basically, the idea is we'll run up the road, I think so. Yeah,
Oh wow, I did not see this before.
this is Saborg. So this is the German. I jokingly call it Germantown, but this is their place out here, and they have this massive oak tree as kind of like their centerpiece, which I thought was really cool. It's kind of interesting to be down here now. This
Who
whole place was like
lived?
really densely wooded
Wait, who
before.
lived here?
Barn, you know the guy who always used to
Yeah.
starve himself to death?
Oh yeah, I remember Barn.
Yeah, it's that guy.
Was it just him?
Huh? Yeah, it was just him. At first, he had a friend with him, but I think they quit at some point.
You know, also just one thing I want to touch on, just to mention it for the sake of like the history shit, is Salty and I used to do expeditions north to see who could reach the North Pole first, and the inn was a pretty famous stopping point for anyone trying to make an expedition to the North Pole.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty cool to be able to uh, give you guys room and board there.
Very nice infrastructure here. So, I guess actually, I might teleport. Did you ever know about some side town that was being developed near you?
Saluna, I think it was.
I think it was. I remember I labeled the
It's by
town as
Warger. It's
sus.
Wargerall and Fairweather, right?
Yeah, here, I'll
Yeah,
teleport to
yeah.
it.
So I'll talk a little bit about those guys for a moment. So you might have noticed behind the Gregs there was like this big building. That was Wargerall's smithy. And fun fact, Wargerall and Fairweather are actually inn crafters. They invited Posh and some of the early of the middle guys to the server, and they just decided they're going to go do their own thing. Yeah, so this is Saluna. I was gonna build the road out here. It's really far away. It's about like 2-3,000 blocks away from the North
Man,
capital.
This looks like ruins already, but
It
y-
was a ruin. It was a ruin, and they built it out to look like a little like the dilapidated tower, which I thought was so cool.
you know a fun thing is that Carrot was looking at the map a bit and actually told me about this place. And he originally he thought it was a group of people gearing up to like store stolen goods and raid towns and stuff.
Yeah,
A
yeah. So
swastika among
there
us.
was a non-zero chance of that when I first found out about it. And I was thinking about that and kind of
Well,
concerned.
that was when the
But
server was up in arms and shit.
yeah, I was like there was some concern for war there.
This is cool. I want to borrow this idea.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I thought it was really neat. This whole area was really cool, and
God,
I kind of wish it was developed a bit more.
literally
Um,
every town has just its own personality and backstory. It's so cool.
yeah, yeah. So these guys actually branched off of the north, and they are part of the barony.
So for
Um,
the Norf, is there? I think there's what? There's the castle. Is there anything else besides the castle to see?
yeah, we can go to Stonekirk Glade.
Wait, I don't know if that is that the castle.
Yeah, it's a castle. Well,
Oh, okay. I meant like, is there
Eagle
anything?
Fort is in the Stone Castle Glade, and I'll teleport over there so you can just teleport to me.
All right, thanks. Oh man, the hill here is really cool. I kind of wish they built on the hill, but I would say that North had a decent, aside from the wind, it was a good spot for building a further north town. But here, it wouldn't be very easy to expand this town.
Yeah, I tried to pick like so when I walked north the first time, there were a ton of mountains. And I was really having a hard time finding a place that was like flat and nice looking. But lo and behold, when I got to 10K, there was this relatively flat rolling hills area. I'm like, that's where we're settling. Turned out really well. So if you want to teleport to me real quick, I'll talk about this area. Okay, so this is what I call the Stone Curtain Glade. It's a valley in the middle of a bunch of mountains, and these were actually the midpoint between two translocators on the network from Spawn Town to the north.
Oh, the mountains look nice for this.
Oh, dude, the mountains are so great.
Although
There's
for
actually
PvP, like if this ever was an actually defended castle, ugh.
it would have been tricky. Yeah, it would have absolutely would have been tricky. So part of the idea was to actually, if you want to come to where I am, up over this little area, I wanted to build a fort here in the Alpine Valley here, and then have a tower that comes up through this cove.
Oh, like kind of like the archives in how it's
Yeah,
built through the mountain. Oh, Jesus, yeah, this is a nice cove.
yeah. We have a couple of these. There's a bunch of them on the TL Road. But yeah, this is what convinced me to build here, like this cove right here. And so I was really hoping that I could get more players to settle out here, but a lot of people just started going
Oh
south.
wait, do you want to take me back to the castle?
Yeah, yeah. So if we go back to the castle, I actually built this whole thing by hand in survival. I was going to build a full wall going around here.
Oh, it's
You
still
can see where I
loading.
laid it out.
Let me load in the chunks. I'm actually gonna slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's always raccoons and shit everywhere.
Well, they spawn near berry
This
bushes.
was HG80's house?
Yeah.
Did he make it, or did you just give him supplies and shit, or how did that
He made
work?
it. I gave him a little bit of. I gave him like. I gave him the same deal I give all new players that came up north. You know,
I,
food, tools, backpacks, and directed them at a place to settle. I was hoping to build like kind of like a little supporting village
I thought
inside
that
the
was a
glade.
real wolf at first. Like, well, it was just in the bottom of my screen, but and
Yeah,
then is this your
I think
house? Oh wait, no, you're right.
I built this. This is like the little gentleman's club. I called it the Rose Garden. I was gonna put through the colored glass. I was gonna put a little uh, flower garden and that kind of stuff. It was just gonna be something kind of nice on the road, little way station.
Yeah, everybody likes visiting inns and taverns. Oh, the pool table. Wasn't the pool table originally in the other tavern or something, or is this like a
This
replica
is
or a second pool
no,
table?
this is the original. This is something CSAM made, and I immediately bought it for like 6 steel.
I will. That's really cheap for like the amount of effort put into this, the amount of
Yeah,
like variety of stone. I'm actually gonna get a chisel and see what's in there.
there. It was back when steel was like first starting to become available in the north, though.
Oh,
So it was still pretty valuable.
7 different types of material used, and that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I'm gonna see. So, what was like the end goal for this castle?
So this front area right here was going to be like a couple smaller buildings in the same style as the ones outside. Like smithy, maybe some crops growing and that kind of stuff. And then I was going to put a proper like inner keep on the other two sides. But the cool thing that I really wanted to kind of experiment with and figure out like a good way to make it is I wanted to make a flying arch all the way to the mountain on the south end and have that feed into that Alpine Valley on the other side.
Oh, that would have been cool. I mean, I don't think there would have been enough interest to hold it till then, but what is it? So what would you have done? Like, would you have stayed in North and given this to someone? Because obviously they're a little far apart. You can't really.
I would have actually moved to this keep.
Oh, so what would have happened to North or the leadership
The
there?
the
CSAM?
old capital. Yeah, I probably would have given it to CSAM. Yeah.
I think CSAM would have accepted it. I know a lot of people don't like accepting leadership in this game.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that's
Well,
something
like
I
for the longest time, South traded leaders a lot. What was it? It started out with
yeah.
Carrot, sort of, because he established South, but then it went to Kranji, I think, and now
Yep.
who owns it? Malbec?
Yeah, Malbec. Yeah, the South has never really had clear leadership. And honestly, I think that's probably the only reason there wasn't like a really big war. And I know Carrot was kind of lamenting that, like he was kind of trying to get people to uh, take leadership there because he didn't want it.
I'm kind of glad there wasn't a war, but it would have been very interesting to see a war, though. Until we modded more powerful weapons, I can't really see war being very effective. It's very costly in this game, and
Well,
it's
there's
just
nothing
like
really
the
to fight
combat's
over.
the
That's
combat's
really the problem.
awkward.
Yeah, there's nothing really to fight over. I mean, that's kind of what I think is the real heart of the problem is like there's no reason to fortify an area. Like you might as well just make a stash somewhere and then
Yeah,
have
there
that be the thing to
was
fight over.
what was it? There were assassinations and there was mob justice for any of the actual like just upright PvP hostile actions instead of, memeing around arena battles. Though
Yeah,
arena battles were interesting. I really like the kit testing. I'm kind of bummed I never got to test the B Master kit.
yeah.
Um,
Anyways, that's pretty much it. That's the North. That was the This is the last project that I was working on, and uh, obviously it's
all
not
right.
getting done before the reset. But
I mean, thanks for showing it. I hope I didn't really miss anything because there's like a lot of just fucking insane chisel work that was done in the north by basically all of you.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think that's about it. You got CSAM's store, right?
Uh, I think so. That was the small store that we went into. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I went in that with all the like crazy around the world shit. Ah,
Yeah.
God, I hope CSAM's guy has the thing in Spawn Town, but I'll probably do Spawn Town next. So yeah, I guess I'll end the recording there.